The United Kingdom is just reporting a cargo ship was attacked in the Strait of Hormuz off the coast of Iran. What are your sources telling you on this one?
Yeah, hey there, Anna. Well, there's new tensions in the Strait of Hormuz and those surrounding waterways at this hour, with British maritime officials saying that the master of a bulk carrier reported being attacked by multiple small boats just off of the coast of Iran. This happened just a short while ago here, and you see the alert that was just issued. This is the rough location of where this would have happened here. No injuries, so to speak of. There was also a separate incident that happened just west of the Strait of Hormuz, off of the coast of the UAE, in which that was listed as suspicious activity happening in that area there. So two separate alerts that we've been notified of from British maritime officials. It comes as the U.S. naval blockade has really created this as the pressure point for the global economy and the situation with Iran, with the blockade not going anywhere, according to the Pentagon, now turning around 49 ships, according to Central Command. Iran takes the most issue with this naval blockade and has even acknowledged this week the kind of economic impacts that it has had on them, saying that they have become intolerable economic strains, demanding that the U.S. naval blockade lift them. We've also heard from the IRGC here this evening, which says that they claim that they have given the Pentagon a deadline in which to lift that naval blockade, or else they say they're prepared to resume military action. But that being said, all parties here in the region, Israel, the United States, are saying they're ready to go if these talks fall apart. Anna?
And Robert, Trump also says he's reviewing Iran's proposal after saying he was not satisfied. Where do things stand on that?
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely noticed a shift in tone coming from the White House in recent days, where the president has said he's not certain if Iran is ever going to come all the way to a territory in which a deal would be satisfactory for them. Iran's latest proposal, according to what Iranian state media has put out, is that they're looking for this issue to be sorted within 30 days and then finalize an end to the war, not just extending the ceasefire, but outright ending the war. Their foreign ministry just spoke with state media a short while ago, saying that at this point, they have not had any nuclear negotiations, and they claim that they've received a response from the United States. So far, we've not heard anything of the kind from the White House, but the initial indications that you heard from the president here is that he does not like where Iran is. And there are some of these issues, such as the nuclear program, which are viewed as non-starters by the U.S., that they haven't seen Iran move enough on. Anna?
Yep, and we've heard from Rubio and Hegseth and Trump all saying that because the leadership there is so fractured, it's complicating negotiations as well. NewsNation's Robert Sherman live for us in Tel Aviv. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thank you. All right, everybody, we're going to welcome to the show now. We have Republican North Dakota Representative Julie Federick. She's here. She's a member of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday.
Good afternoon, Anna. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, well, the clock has run out. Despite the 60-day war powers deadline expiring, though, Hegseth and Trump say they do not need congressional approval to continue this war in Iran because of the ceasefire. Will you go on record with us today whether the president does need to consult with Congress?
So, first of all, stepping back a little bit to that question, Anna, what's the most important here is that the President Trump was clearly elected by a vast majority of Americans to make America stronger and safer, both at home and abroad. And this action is clearly a part of that. A nuclear-armed Iran is very dangerous for America and for the rest of the world. So what's most important right now is we get behind the president to support him in finishing this action.
Okay, so that's a no. You don't think he does need congressional approval, or you do?
Well, he's working under the 60 days. If he came back, he could ask for another 30 days under that authorization. But I think what's most important is these actions can't be framed in a specific timeline, Anna, because Iran is watching and they are hoping that we lose the political will to see this through.
Okay.
So what we need to do, whether it's through a formal AUMF or through just strong support through congressional oversight and other Republicans and Democrats getting behind and saying, we're united. We want the president to finish this action and to make sure that we don't have a nuclear-armed Iran,
Sure.
that they aren't allowed to help fund these terrorist organizations all over the world through proxies, and then we can open up the Strait of Hormuz.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.